thanks to the one of the very strong members of the Wolfpack sent through. After that, maybe ship off needs to be shipped off.
No,
Atrocious.
that came from Campbell Brown,
He's a
who's
member
the
of the
flog,
pack.
and I just sent a message back to him that he'll be front and square and ship off next week.
Well, I can't read that one out, Chief, because there's some fruity language. Let's do a little bit of news now, please. Damo, best newsman in footy, no doubt. What is kicking around? I know it's been dominated by the
integrity issue, and also, as we discussed off the top of the time together tonight, Luke Hodge caught for drink driving. And Gaz, as you revealed in that conversation we had at the top of our time together, that Alistair Clarkson, according to yourself, is ropeable and will seek potentially further sanctions on Luke Hodge on top of the ones that have been handed down by the police.
Chris Fagan has said that there'll be no further action, but I just would imagine that the football club, and knowing how disappointed and upset they are, that they'll sit down and address that, and
with the possibility of a qualifying final being the sanction.
That would be an ultimate. That would be a very drastic, severe penalty. Brian thinks that's exactly how it should go.
Captain of the club, and he's paid well, and he's got to behave accordingly.
He does, but there are many different ways of punishing players and punishing individuals.
I don't think
Brian.
there would be a player in the league that would get away with a drink driving offence without having a club sanction imposed.
If you were coaching Hawthorn, you'd suspend him for how long?
I would absolutely hate to, but...
No, that wasn't the question. My question is, if you were coaching Hawthorn, what would you do?
Well, depending on what I'd done...
what would you do?
Well, I've got no history as the Hawthorn coach.
No, I'm not asking you for your history. What would you do now?
If I had nailed other players for smaller things, I would certainly be applying to Hodge a penalty.
No, that's not my question. Take away history. You've been appointed coach of Hawthorn. What would you do?
Answer it, BT.
Yes, I will. If I had...
No.
Stop bouncing around it.
It's a simple question, mate.
So it's a simple answer, Gary.
What is it?
If I'd suspended other players and drawn up the rules and parameters...
No, this is a clean slate.
Last chance,
BT. You're up. You are, Brian. You came in here, you huffed and puffed and barged and threw Warrior out of his seat and said, you boys are soft as butter. What would you do to Luke Hodge?
Suspend him.
For how long?
Oh, 1 or 2.
No, what would you do?
I'd need to take into consideration
come
all the facts. But he would certainly get a suspension.
What, so he misses the game against Carlton tomorrow?
Yes, he does.
Oh, well,
no, he's already missing that. He's already suspended. That's the fifth match he's missing from suspension.
He misses the final, Gary.
And
I reckon in this case, a final will be worth 2.
So now we're getting to Tim Tax. So you would suspend him for the first final against West Coast?
Yes, I would.
Thank you, Brian.
Wouldn't apply, though, if Brian was coaching, because they'd have September off.
Jeez, I coached Paran for 2 prelim finals, coming off the bottom of a 20-year period on the bottom.
I covered the VFA when BT was coach at Paran, and there was an allegation going around that he wired up the opposition coaches' boxes.
No,
so that he you did, BT.
Did you,
I investigated that. And
you
could
knew their
not get
moves
to the bottom
before
of
they
it.
pulled them.
No, I could not get to the bottom of it. I nearly wrote that story, and I wish I had it, because I reckon it was
get
true.
Out of hand.
Was that true?
That's not true.
Did you put a recording device in the opposition coach's box?
That's not true.
Oh, Brian.
That's not true.
I might go back to the person who told me that, because I
remember that particular game, and a guy wasn't selected who did play, I think, in the AFL, maybe reserves, didn't get selected, and he come in and punched on with us in the selection table. John Anderson himself had to punch him in the face to just sort of settle the fact that he wasn't selected on merit.
Anyway, we're doing news now. We'll get on to that.
Punched him in the face, did you?
And you did wire that
With the big
coach's
ham
box up.